So think of your massive goal right now and think of the person that you've got to become in order to get that massive goal. Now, how are we going to train that person? Welcome to another episode, and we're going to hit a solemn note today. And I think it's right because my energy levels are not quite as high as they normally are because I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm halfway through a detox, like a colon cleanse thing that I'm doing, and it's kicking my backside, so literally. So I think it's nice just to sit down, have a word, and talk about something that is real. And I can't believe I haven't spoken about it that much, to be honest, because this topic, which is, by the way, handling disappointment. This topic is rife. You have to face this, not just in normal life, but if you want to be a race driver, or you are a race driver, you'll know this already, you have to handle disappointment left, right, and center. And you think everybody will get really good at it, but it doesn't happen like that. It depends what mood we're in, what kind of disappointment it is, how long we live there, stay there, should I say, mentally, the part of our life we are. Now, I've been living long enough now to have quite a few disappointments, whether it's personal life, like you get cheated on, in professional life, you lose the role that you're in, you get fired or whatever. Been through them all, well, not them all, I won't say that. Been through quite a lot of them and handled them in different ways because it depends what time, what stage of your life you're through. As you're getting older, you or should I say, as you've been on this planet longer, in this game for longer, you kind of handle them a bit better, maybe, because you get the skills and you kind of seem worse and all that, like, yeah, whatever, next. And I just want to pass on some advice, really, especially for the youngsters, especially for anybody who, it's not even true, it could be for anyone. But when you're fighting to create this racing dream of yours, this career, it seems like everything's on it. So each time you get a disappointment, even if it's just a lap time, you didn't manage to get a lap time, you weren't very quick that day, you got your arse handed to you on a certain day and it was embarrassing and it was important because there were sponsors there or people that could have helped and it didn't go through. That's a disappointment. It's real. You live it. And it's painful, and maybe it's embarrassing, and oh, that's my only shot, what am I going to do now? And you do stack these things, right? You do tell yourself these things, and they don't make life better. They don't make the situation better at all. They make it worse, if anything, because it just keeps piling on, and it makes you feel upset. And it's there. It takes time to get over it, weeks maybe, sometimes months. Maybe you never get over it. But you know what? And you've heard this before, it's just part of life. It's when things don't work out as you expected or wanted or really dreamt them to work out, and it doesn't, for something that's even out of your control maybe sometimes, or it was a kind of an unfair situation, or somebody judged you in a way that wasn't fair, they saw you in the wrong light, and it closed that door. It comes in different guises, right? But I think the process of overcoming and using disappointment is normally the same. It's the same kind of thing. Because really what we're trying to do is we're trying to make our mind feel better about the situation. So that process is the same whether no matter what you've done, career or personal. So we need to really make sure that I need to make sure that you're putting some things in place so you can handle disappointment better. Because I want you to know, a bit of a belief here that's not even true, but it will help you, is you're going to have hundreds of disappointments. Hundreds of disappointments that feel like career enders, that are going to put you back 3 or 4 steps from where you were. And I think if you just know and just get comfortable with, I'm going to have hundreds of these, the brain then will give less weight to each one because it's like, right, this is just another one. I've had loads, don't worry, and I'm still here the other side. And that's point number 2, another belief. And a realization is like I said, I've been through plenty disappointments, but I'm still here. I'm still Enzo. I'm still happy. I'm still on course Things are still going the right way. Things are better, more better things in my life than there aren't, that I'm not happy with. Not a lot has changed. And it's when you realize you'll be okay on the other side of failure and disappointment, you sort of snap yourself out of it a bit quicker. You're still going to fail, you're still going to have disappointment, and you're still going to feel rubbish when it first happens. But the quicker you tell yourself, you know what, I've been through these kind of things before, and I'm still here, and I went through it, I've done it again, I'm going to do it a lot of times in the future. Again, it's the association that you're attaching to that disappointment, to that failure, that is important. So if you are really understanding that I've been through this before and I've got to the other side and I was okay and I've just done it again, it's fine, it's going to happen again. Everything seems to work in cycles. You have the success, but after that, there's going to be a whopping failure coming at some point. Something's going to happen that's going to send you down. You're going to feel miserable. You're going to rebuild, come back. You're going to have the success. And you just keep going through life like that. So your disappointment is nothing more than just the circle of life, but the circle of your lifetime. And you'll have many, many, many. If you're going through it now, in fact, you just lost a sponsor. You've been just turned down by a sponsor. You did a gig, you stood up and spoke to people and it fell flat on its face. It's disappointment, right? All these things, and you can dwell on them. But you've got a decision. At some point, you allow yourself to have a day or two or a minute or two to feel crap about it. I feel that's kind of important, right? Not to ignore it, but like something's not been met inside what I wanted to happen. And I feel down, I feel deflated and let down and upset and embarrassed, wherever you want to go, whichever emotion. Just register that. It's fine. Live there for a tiny, tiny bit. But there's going to be a point where you've got to get back on that horse. There's going to be a point where that one disappointment or failure is actually going to give you lessons and some kind of finger post to what to do next time, correct or better. I promise you that's how we've got to use it. So when I talk about association, what you associate and link to a failure, if you want to call it that, or a disappointment, when you feel down about something, that is the key. I'd say that is the secret weapon mentally. Change how you translate what happened. And as soon as you do that and you do it for something that makes you feel better, you'll start to feel better. It's not really rocket science. So the process, the cycle, you're going to go through it. You've got beliefs that I've got to go through so many disappointments and failures. I'm always okay on the other side once it all settles down, right? That's a nice foundation to have. But the process is sit with it for a while, cry, do whatever you have to do, even if you lash out, as long as you're not harming anyone or yourself, you have that immediate response, right? That's there. Then you've got to make a decision of how long you're going to stay there for. If it's just happened in practice and you've got qualifying in an hour, you've got probably 5 minutes to feel bad about it. Then it's got to be all about what the hell am I going to do about it. If it's something in life, maybe you have just been cheated on by someone you absolutely idolized, you loved, that's going to take a bit longer than 5 minutes, I should think. But as soon as you decide, right, enough now, I've been just drinking beer every day, I've just been eating chips, I've just been playing the PlayStation straight for a month, and you're like, right, enough now, I've got to get out of this. That's when you notice the power of how you translate things. And it's kind of like, right, I'm going to give this a different meaning. This no longer, and I'm going to go to something as painful as being cheated on. I am now going to go and find someone who deserves my love. I should have saw the signs. They were there from day one. I ignored them. It was my own fault, but I'm going to learn from that. And I'm going to go and find someone who I can live through life and have a great time with, and doesn't judge me as much, accepts me for who I am, and we have a great time. You know what? There's thousands of them out there, people out there in my age range, and or not. Depends what you're into. If you want to go older, it's fine. You want to go a bit younger, fine. I did 8 years young difference between me and the missus, and it works absolutely fine because I think the maturity level's about right there. But yeah, there's people out there now, and you're allowed to go and look for them and have someone who actually idolizes you and loves your weaknesses just as much as your strengths as such. And that, as soon as you get to that point, and then you start to get like, you know what, I'm going to start to talk to people, you're on your way. But it's interesting just to know what happened. How did you go from Mr. or Mrs. Miserable and I can't believe this has happened, I can't believe they would do that, this is terrible, I love their family and all this, like, right, I've lost their family because we got on, blah, 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 to, I'm ready now. Notice what happens. And I'm using relationships because it's a powerful one, but notice what happens in the past as well, if you really want to study this. When do I start to click into, okay, let's get on with it. Okay, let's use it. Because that's your recipe for getting over disappointment right there. And it's important that you know it. For me, it would be it'll follow this sort of process. Yeah, feel crap about it. Feel sorry for yourself. Start talking in a way that's like, I can't believe this has happened. You know, the stacking, the normal stuff. And when you're ready, and you think, and you get quicker at this as well, because you start to notice it happening. When you're ready, you start to think to yourself, right, how can I use this? Now, just asking a question like that, you know, just pretend, another belief here, by the way, that no matter what happens, it serves me, right? It's a very common one. How can this serve me? How could it possibly serve me? And you just asking that question, and even if you don't come up with the answer immediately, it's like, at least it's out there now. It's in my own little internal stratosphere, the brain, and I've asked it a question. It doesn't know, it's not ready to answer. It's like, piss off, I don't care right now. But you've asked it and you've just let it sit there. And you ask it again about a day or two after, how can this serve me going forward? Just to make sure it doesn't happen again, to make me stronger. Because I know that I've got to go through so many failures and disappointments until I get what I want. It's just normal. It's just, you've got to run the marathon before you get the medal at the end. It's normal. This is another step. Just one step of pain I've got to go through. And then mind starts to think differently about it. And it'll start to pick up then, because it is about stacking really. Then it'll start to stack the different things that could help you in the future, even if you don't want to know that right now, but it might serve you. And it gets to a tipping point then when you decide, right, enough, I'm ready, let's go. That is how we handle disappointment. And when it's let's go, you can get there so many different ways. You could watch a movie and it sort of clicks you in, you know what, I do deserve more. And or people do go through worse than me. What the hell am I on about? Come on, let's get back on it. There'll be some kind of trigger. But I think, and I know, that you can speed up the process. Give yourself the time to get over it, but speed up the process of getting to the mind of thinking and asking questions that take you to a better place, like, how can I use this? Not, how could this happen to me and why? Why did this happen to me? Might actually give you an answer, but it's not woe is me kind of questions. It's more, I've got to use this and go forward. And I've done it before and I can. And you stay there and you keep using that and it will click in. And the big one is, you are way stronger than you think you are. You can handle so much crap, I promise you. You'd be surprised at what you can handle, what you can get over. Life will throw you things all the time, but just picture this now. Just close your eyes if it's safe to do so and listen to the words I'm just about to ask you or say. If you were to build this person who can achieve your dreams, what trials and tribulations and turmoil would you put them through? So think of your massive goal right now and think of the person that you've got to become in order to get that massive goal. Now, how are we going to train that person? How are we going to take that you now as you are and turn you into someone with skills and with resilience and thick skin to be able to go out there and achieve it? Because you're not the finished article right now. You know what the answer is. I've got to put them through the dirt. They've got to handle so much disappointment so they learn the skills and they learn how to do things better. Now we're talking. Now we're starting to say that disappointment is really a necessity. It's not just a motivational quote of I need to hit 100 or whatever. It's essential so you can build that person that you want to build. This is important. So if you're going through crap right now, you're living it, it's horrible, it's dark, you've been in your room for 3 days, you know what? This is needed. This is essential if we use it. If you stay there and give up, no, okay, it's beat you. It's over, finished, fine. Just go and get your whatever job and on you go. You can be happy that way. But if you are still determined to hit that goal, whether it is in relationships or in career, by the way, it could be anything, you've got to know that this is something that you have to go through. It's essential. Again, all those steps, all those painful steps you take during a marathon are essential. If you miss one, you're not going to make it. So we can't miss any of the disappointments. We've got to use them and actually welcome them. It's like, come on then, life. What have you got? Give me more. And I think then that's, as you get on, you kind of have this, but I want you to have it right now, because some people learn this in their 60s, some people learn this in their teens. I want you to have this kind of mindset now where there's no disappointment that will ever bring you down. It will only add to your wisdom and your strength. And you've got to believe it, because life is going to try and kick the crap out of you. That's my message for today. I hope it helps just one or some of you. And I hope it helps loads of you out there, really, to be honest, not just one, because it is important. And your whole life depends on you. Your happiness and everything depends on you. So this is really, it's vital that you're equipped with the right kind of perspective on these things, because if you're not, no one's going to save you.